Welcome back, everybody, to Creatives in Recovery. I am Dr. Flo, and today we're going to be talking about rebuilding creative trust. And the question of the night is, do you trust your gift, or are you still punishing yourself for past inconsistency? Do you trust your gift, or are you still punishing yourself for past inconsistency? Welcome, everybody, again to Creatives in Recovery. Tonight, we're talking about something that almost every artist, entrepreneur, performer, writer, musician, speaker, and visionary struggles with: rebuilding creative trust. Not trust in your audience, not trust in social media, not trust in the market, trust in yourself. Because many creatives are carrying around a quiet shame story. It may sound like I should be further along. I wasted time. I quit too many times. I disappeared. I started but didn't finish. I let people down. I let myself down. And after enough disappointments, we stop trusting in our own creativity. Tonight isn't about productivity. It's about healing the relationship between you and your gift. Okay? Drop an easel in the chat, a little artistic easel. You may have to look on your phone and find it. Drop an easel in the chat if you ever started something that you were excited about and then abandoned it. Drop a little easel in the chat if you ever started something that you were excited about and then abandoned it. All right, let's talk tonight about why creative trust gets broken. It's going to be a short and sweet session tonight. I did not rest well last night, and so today is going to be short and sweet. Let's talk about why creative trust gets broken. Creative trust rarely breaks because of laziness. Creative trust usually breaks because of burnout, grief, trauma, rejection, financial pressure, perfectionism, fear of visibility, and unrealistic expectations. And many of us blame ourselves for survival responses. We say things like, I wasn't disciplined. But maybe you were just exhausted. Maybe you were overwhelmed. Maybe you were carrying more than anyone knew or that people could see. Maybe your nervous system was protecting you. And the problem is that after enough starts and stops and stops and starts and starts and stops and stops and starts, we begin treating ourselves like an unreliable employee. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever treated yourself like an unreliable employee. We will often become our own harshest managers. Our harshest managers. Lisa? Yes. Tara has treated herself in the past like a harsh manager. Give me 1 second, y'all. I was supposed to be sending a text blast to the people who said that they were coming tonight to let them know they were getting started. So once again, the problem that often happens is that after enough starts and stops, we begin treating ourselves like an unreliable employee, and we become harsh in our management of ourselves. All right, here's a question for you all. What is one creative project you still think about years later? What's one creative project that you still think about years later? Drop it in the chat. What is one creative project that you still think about years later? And once again, we have crazy weather here in Georgia tonight. And we also have an outage on our home internet. So I'm running this room completely off of the cell phone because I really didn't want to cancel the room. We do this for people who are relying on us to keep them encouraged in their journey. There are people globally who are counting on us to be encouraging, equipping, and empowering daily. And if I say I'm going to show up on Thursdays at 7 to help you with your bold dreams and your creativity, I want to do everything in my power to make it happen. And so we're running off of the cell phone tonight because it's 2026 and unlimited hotspots are a thing. All right. Tara's one creative project that she still thinks about years later is her reef making. Tell me what happened, Tara. What happened? Why did it matter to you? And do you still care about it? Poppy's behind me saying, did the reefs give you grief? Anybody else want to share about one creative project that they still think about years later? I'm going to go grab a glass of water while you all answer in the chat. It looks like our microwave got jealous of the new table and chair set that superfan Angie sent, and the microwave stopped opening the moment that she saw the table and chair set in the kitchen nook. It's funny. It's really funny. Tara said she stopped to pursue her other businesses, and so that's what happened with the reefs. The reefs didn't bring her grief. She just moved on to something different. We're talking now about the one creative project that you still think about years later. All right. Let's talk about how punishment is not recovery. Many creatives and dreamers secretly punish themselves. Okay? You may be out there wondering, how might I have been punishing myself as a creative and as a bold dreamer? You could be refusing to start again. You could be engaging in constant self-criticism. You may be comparing yourself to others. You may be believing that you lost your chance. If you're a person who's in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, a lot of people in those groups believe that they've lost their chance at moving forward with their creative pursuit. And there are also people who believe that they must earn their creativity back, that they have to do something. I would love to be creative, but it's going to take me 30, 60, 90 days to be creative. So after I go to YouTube University, or after I read a certain book, or after I take a certain class for 90 days, then I will be qualified to be in my creative pursuit. These are people who believe that they need to earn their creativity back. Your inner dialogue may sound like you don't deserve another opportunity. You already failed. You had your shot. But recovery teaches us something different. Recovery says you do not heal by punishment. You heal through practice. You heal through compassion. You heal through repetition. You heal through returning to your creative pursuit. All right. Finish this sentence in the chat if you'd like. Once again, this is going to be a shorter room than usual because my team told me to cut back on all of the free shit. They're like, you do too much for free, Dr. Flo. Stop it. I would create more if I stopped believing blank. I would create more if I stopped believing blank. What would you create more of if you stopped believing in XYZ thought? I would create more if I stopped believing that the things I want to do are hard. Some of you were around yesterday when I taped my first self-tape audition in the last 7 years. And I had told myself that self-tapes were hard. Well, guess what? In the last 10 years, self-tapes, and for those of you who don't know what a self-tape is, a self-tape is an audition that you record by yourself and then you send it out to people via the internet. Self-tapes are different than live auditions. I had told myself that the self-tape was going to be hard, or that it was going to be overwhelming, or it was going to take a whole day to do it. It took a few hours with this new setup that I needed to do, but it didn't take the whole day. I would create more if I stopped believing that my creative pursuits were going to take so much time. Welcome back, Action. Good to see you. The prompt, I can pin it here, y'all. And once again, I was not going to allow the outage in my home internet and the crazy weather that's happening to discourage me from being here tonight. So if there's some up and down that's happening with the feed, just know that it is just know that it is because I'm on a hot spot. Tara says, if I stopped believing that I didn't have enough knowledge or credentials, you would create more. Once again, 7 seconds left. I would create more if I stopped believing blank. I would create more if I stopped believing blank. Yeah, Tara, you're not alone. A lot of people think that they need to go and get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a doctorate, or they need to re-enroll back in school. I have a lot of clients and I meet a lot of people online who are saying, I need to go back to school before I can live my dream out. I need more time. I would create more if I stopped believing that I didn't have enough time. Anybody else? I would create more if I stopped believing blank. All right, I'll wait for those comments to come in and we'll come back to them if we need to. I want to invite everybody in the room now to pause, take a breath. We're going to do a little Gestalt. This is taking from Gestalt therapy for those of you who've ever practiced or gone through a session of Gestalt. I'm going to ask you to imagine your creativity as a person sitting across from you. Okay? So just take a breath and imagine that your creativity is personified and it's sitting across from you. Okay? What would your creativity say to you tonight? What would your creativity say to you tonight? If your creativity were personified and sitting across from you, what would your creativity say to you tonight? Would it say, come back? Would your creativity say, I miss you? Would your creativity say, I'm still here? Oh, wow. JK Beauty Treat says, why are you wasting time? That's what your creativity would say to you? Why are you wasting time? Woo! Ouch. Ouch. Has your creativity been talking to my creativity? It sounds like JK Beauty Treats. It sounds like your creativity has been talking to my creativity. Why are you wasting time? Is your creativity saying you didn't lose me? You didn't lose me? Is your creativity encouraging you to start small and to start where you are? If your creativity was sitting across from you, what would your creativity say to you tonight? JK Beauty says the creativity's still there. It's still in there. Sway says that the creativity would say, I'm still in there. Pay attention to me. I've not given up on you. All right, let's talk now about how trust is built through small promises. Many dreamers and creatives think that trust returns after a breakthrough. But usually, our trust returns to us through tiny commitments. Things like writing one paragraph, singing one song, recording one video, drawing for 10 minutes. You'd be surprised how many adult clients I have that haven't colored in a long time or haven't drawn in a while. It also can return to you through practicing for 15 minutes. Trust is built when you consistently show up, not perfectly, but consistently. The goal is not proving that you're talented. The goal is proving that you're safe to yourself. So he said she colored this weekend. That's wonderful. That childhood play. Okay? The goal is not proving you're talented. The goal is proving that you're safe to yourself. And that's a completely different recovery journey. All right. Next question for the room, and thank y'all for being here. We're here every Thursday at 7 p.m., recovering our inner dreamer and our creative spirit. What's one tiny creative promise that you could realistically keep this week? What's one tiny creative promise you could realistically keep this week? Sway says creativity is an outlet, no matter what kind. Sway said that they would write one song. You would write one song. Anybody else? What's one tiny creative promise you could realistically keep this week? JK Beauty Treats says, spend time with my thoughts. Okay? I'm not talking about your dream goal. I'm not talking about your 5-year plan. I'm talking about just one small promise. JK wants to spend more time with their thoughts. Sway wants to write a song. Jimmy Jams would like to send his mother hand-drawn cards. That's sweet. Sway, what would you write a song about this week if you could? All right, so questions for the room. You don't have to answer all of these, but I would love to hear your responses. If some of you want to come up, I'm not sure how reliable my internet is, but if some of you want to raise your hand, you can answer these questions. I'll drop them here. When did you stop trusting yourself creatively? Who taught you that your creativity wasn't enough? When did you stop trusting yourself creatively? And was there someone in your life that taught you that your creativity wasn't enough? Here's another one from my notes tonight. What creative dream refuses to leave you alone? What creative dream refuses to leave you alone? Mr. Fuddud says, when I think I became self-conscious. We could talk for a long time about what it means to be self-conscious. To be hyper aware of how you appear to other people, that creates a huge bulk of stage fright, and it will block the throat chakra of it all. Sway says because she does it for herself, she believes that it doesn't matter, and then as a result of that, it's not worth sharing. Been there. The mind is a powerful thing. Thoughts become things. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So he says, I don't want to overwhelm people with all of my music. I think people don't care like I do. There's a lid for every pot. I say this every day on the network. There's a lid for every pot. And so someone will care. It may not be the people that you want to care, but there's always someone out there who cares about the things we care about. That's actually one of the things that causes people to self-eject from the planet every 11 minutes. This idea that people don't care like we do, that's the despair and the seed of despair that people self-eject for. That's not true. There are billions of people on the planet, and there's someone who's equally as jazzed about what you got going on as you are. It may take you time to find them and to position yourself in the spaces where people care about the things you care about, but there's an affinity group for everything. There are people who bond over antique plates, right? There are people who bond over light bulbs. There are people who bond over figurines. There are people who bond over what do you call those little soaps? I need to Google. They're like these little soaps that are in shapes. Shaped soap. There are people who bond over.
That's called shade soap.
Shades. Oh yeah, the shade soap thing. Have y'all seen that online where like people will just like shave away at soap? They just shave. People who bond over Legos. Like, we don't have to earn love. We don't have to earn belonging. We don't have to earn the things we think we need to earn. We can just belong to our joy. I don't have to work for my joy. It's mine. It's there. A lot of people think that they have to do. I'm not sure if you were here earlier when we were talking about the prompt up top. I would create more if I stopped believing. I would create more if I stopped believing that if it's not hard work, I won't want it. There's an addiction to struggle in our society that we have to get clear about. Life was not meant to be a struggle. I know that's going to kind of fry the circuits of some people, but I promise you, life was not meant to be a struggle. And a lot of us have made that agreement that we're supposed to struggle through life. And I feel that we would create more if we stopped believing that there was a struggle attached to our creativity and what we got going on. Not necessarily so. There's some people who believe that if they don't work for it and don't work hard for it, then they won't want it. But some of us are attracted to the soft life. Okay? Very intentional miracle. Very intentional. A propaganda, if you will. And I talk about this all the time in my TikTok spaces like this, and also in when I'm doing the dishes and things around the house on TikTok, which some of you stop by and hang out with me while I do that. As it relates to programming, there is a propaganda of unworthiness miracle. And there's also, as I'm out prospecting and looking for people to encourage and uplift, people are very addicted to not having enough. There are people who are so broke in their mentality and in their programming that they can't afford a free room like this. So it creates this condition where people are always, I call it the propaganda of unworthiness. And I have solutions that I teach in my academy and in my clinic and in my coaching practice. But people are so steeped in unworthiness that they can't even afford the free shit. The antidote for the poison of unworthiness miracle is learning how to find yourself to be trustworthy. Self-trust. Yes. So then you have to get into that subconscious mind and start restoring dignity and trust in yourself. Which leads me to my next question. What would change if you trusted your gifts completely? What would change if you trusted your gifts completely? Self-love and self-trust, yes. Deeply and profoundly loved and lovable, always. Deeply approving and loving of oneself. It is the antidote to the poison. As I'm out talking to people in my work as a coach and counselor and mentor and guide and, peer support, sponsor, yada, yada, you'd be surprised how many people that I discover who don't believe they have any gifts. There are people who will tell you with their whole chest, I don't have any gifts. I'm not talented. So then we have to do the work of showing them charts and taking them through exercises so that they can discover or rediscover their gifts. And then once they discover that they've got gifts at the intersection of your soft skills and your hard skills and your ikigai, once we take them through that process, then the question becomes, now that you discovered that you have gifts, what would change in your life if you trusted your gifts completely? Right. It's ironic that people will call your intuitive intuition mental illness while sitting in white supremacist Delulu, the mental illness of racism, the mental illness of capitalism. Don't be bothered by it. Next time someone tells you that your intuitive intuition is mental illness, tell them we're all in mental illness. It's called capitalism. The competition of capitalism is the ultimate mental illness. We all got it. Racism, alleged white supremacy, Christian nationalism. You're not alone. Even if your intuitive intuition is a mental illness, you're not alone. The call's coming from inside the house. Okay? It reminds me of when we were kids. I know I am, but what are you? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Okay? Last question here is what kind of support helps you stay consistent to your dreams? You're loved and lovable, Miracle. You get it. If you hang around for the next 20 years, and if you've been around for the last 5 years, you will have heard me say countless times in these spaces that you are deeply and profoundly loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable no matter what and no matter who. And how you live from that perspective of being loved and lovable today is going to shape the next 25 years of your life. If you do not believe yourself to be loved and lovable, you will block every blessing and self-sabotage every dream. If you can receive into your heart this idea that you are loved and lovable and live and move from that place and breathe from that place, it will change your whole life. So yeah, we never deny that we are loved and lovable. Ask, believe, receive. Ask, believe, receive. I asked for a good day. I believe that I'm going to have a good day. And then I receive this good day. I asked for a positive TikTok room tonight, even though we've got crazy weather here that knocked out the internet. So this whole session's happening off of a hotspot on my little phone here. I asked for positive people to be drawn through the law of attraction to this room. I believe that the law of attraction was going to bring positive people to this room tonight because we've been having low attendance because of my advertising and yada yada. But I believed that better was going to happen and that the people that I was meant to be drawn to and vice versa would come into the space, and then I received it. And that's how we get a literal miracle. Right? That's how we get a miracle. And Sway, and who else gets a shout out? Jimmy Jam, Sway, JK Beauty Treats, Miracle, Angie, Action, Kryptonite, my burner account, the Mint Candle, Kyle, Kryptonite. It's the law of attraction working on our behalf. Namaste. You're loved and lovable. The divine light in me bows to the divine light in you, and vice versa. You get a shout out. You get a shout out. You get a shout out. What kind of support helps y'all stay consistent? What do y'all need along your path to help you stay in your own race and in your own lane? It's very easy for me to present online and to present in the world and do the work that I do because I'm not in competition with anybody. I build community. And if you see others as your community instead of your competition, everything in your life begins to relax. This is why the adults around you are exhausted. You know the ones, I'm so tired, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so this, I'm so that, right? They're comparing themselves to other people. They are in competition instead of being in communion with their hearts. Miracle says, for me, it's a self-validation, self-assurance. Now it all flows. They don't call me Dr. Flo for nothing, baby. They don't call me Dr. Flo for nothing. I had to name myself Dr. Flo just to stay in my own vibe. People will constantly tug on you, and energies will constantly tug on you, and we're all changing all the time. We live in a very mercurial society with mercurial people, and if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, you'll get pulled downstream. You'll get pulled downstream. Yeah. Dr. Flo, nice to meet you. You're loved and lovable. The Mint Candle says, I honestly don't know. I just know I need to use my very little free time better. How would you like to use your time better? Let's talk about it, because if you name a thing, you can heal a thing. So how would you like to use your free time better? And I think you have more time than you think you have. We have a saying in Emotions Anonymous. I am a global sponsor and teacher and practitioner within Emotions Anonymous, and we work the 12 steps on TikTok during the day. If you come while I'm making breakfast or when I'm doing dishes at night, we're always working the 12 steps of these various recovery programs because I'm a recovery counselor online and privately. And one of the tenets of Emotions Anonymous is that you're never going to find time to do the things that light you up and bring you joy. You're going to have to make it meant. You're going to have to make it. You make time. You don't find time. So for those of you that know, I'll live my dream when I have more time, when I'm less busy, like you don't find time. You have to just make time. You have to make it. Okay? You have to make it. I'm gonna find it in my notes. It's somewhere over here. It's in in the old text. So once again, y'all, I'm on a hotspot. So just forgive if it goes crazy. I'm gonna find the exact little. Here it is. Oh yeah, it's the Just for Today number 8. Just for today, I will stop saying if I had time. I will never find time for anything. If I want time, I must take it and make it. Exactly. One more time. Just for today, I will stop saying if I had time. I will never find time for anything. You will never find time for anything. This is going to set some people free tonight. Because I know that type of personality. You must take it. You must take it. This is where we start losing people in the space because we're not making excuses anymore. We're team no excuse. And people will build their whole personality and their lives. I meet them every day on TikTok, and some of them are in my academy and in my practice and in my network. They are excuse machines. If it ain't the job, it's the kids. If it ain't the kids, it's the education. If it ain't the education, they ain't got time. If they ain't got time, then they don't have, just these excuse parade. Excuse parade. Just for today, I will stop saying if I had time. I will never find time for anything. If I want time, I must take it. Okay? And we're not even going to get into how so many people waste time. I'm a professional time waster, so people have a hard time. People have a hard time making the I ain't got time excuse with me. Because I've wasted more time in my life than I've been productive with. I'm a professional time waster. I can do nothing for like hours and be like, oh, where'd the time go? I'm a professional procrastinator and a professional time waster. Ask me about the last 5 years. I just sat around sometime. There were times where I just sat around just thinking about the good things to come and not really acting on them. That's also why you may see the graphic down below. We're Love and Action Network, because love is an action word. Love compels you to take action, not love and procrastination, not love and humiliation, not love in depression network, not love with excuses network. Love in action. I love myself, therefore I. That's the power statement. This will get you out of addiction. This will get you out of pain, anxiety, panic, paranoia, and depression. I love myself, therefore. Loving yourself and having deep compassion for yourself compels you to do something. And we focus every Tuesday in the solar plexus chakra on what is love calling you to do. And typically, not all the time, but typically love is calling you to do better. Love is calling you to some type of self-honoring behavior. Not selfish, not fuck 'em, I'ma do me. That's my spiritual language, by the way. Not fuck 'em, I'ma do me. Rather, I deeply and profoundly love and approve of myself, and I'm going to self-honor myself by doing this, and this. And everyone's list is different. You might be procrastinating on purpose. You may be delaying your miracle. Only you can know. That's also what's interesting. Like, we try to hold other people in contempt or in accountability for the stuff they do or don't do. Your internal scorecard is different than mine. Everyone's internal scorecard is different. And that's also how a lot of people get off the hook as it relates to their dreams. Mint says, love is calling me to love and respect myself more like I do with other people in my life. Yes. Treating yourself with the same amount of kindness that you extend to others. All right, we're landing this plane. I'm a former flight attendant, so let's start to land this. Here's what I want everyone to remember tonight. Your inconsistency is not your identity. Your pauses are not proof of failure. Your setbacks are not evidence that you lack talent. Your gift is not angry with you. Your creativity does not require perfection. Your creativity is waiting for partnership. The question isn't, can I trust my gift? The deeper question is, can my gift trust me to come back? Once again, the question isn't, can I trust my gift? The deeper question is, can my gift or my gifts trust me to come back? And trust me to come back over and over and over and over again. And the beautiful thing is, you can answer that question tonight. Not with a grand gesture, not with a perfect plan, but just by taking one small step. Miracle says, yes, many of the physical activities are primitive compared to my spiritual capabilities. You are in your wholeness. When you're in your wholeness, your physical activities and your spiritual capabilities will align. We're not duplicitous. We're not separate within ourselves. Everything is aligning and moving together in wholeness. How you are in one area of your life is how you are in all areas of your life. So if the physical is lacking, then the spiritual is as well. If the spiritual is lacking, so is the physical. You're not multiple parts. You are whole. Act like it. Final chat question. What is one creative action you can commit to taking within the next 24 hours? What is one creative action you can commit to taking within the next 24 hours? Sound off. Post your answers in the chat. What is one creative action you can commit to taking within the next 24 hours? We'll close this. I will end the recording, and then we'll chat for a few minutes after the recording ends for the replays over on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Substack. And then I will go and watch Netflix and chill. Sway is going to journal in the next 24 hours. The Mint Candle is going to spend time meditating. Yes. You know, my favorite meditations these days, mint candle, is something called Metta, Metta. I'll put it in the chat. I'm not sure if you've ever done a metta practice. I could send you one if you want me to send you one. I can send you one. I have a favorite metta practice. Metta is a Buddhist concept for loving kindness. And every day in the shower, as I'm soaping my pits, I do a metta practice, a loving kindness practice, extending loving kindness to others. Oh my goodness. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. I can send you the one that I use. It is, just DM me. My DMs are open. If you DM me, I will send you my favorite one that I'm showering with these days. His name is Hugh Barn, and he has a wonderful metta practice, loving kindness. Because if you can start extending deep and profound loving kindness to yourself, it makes it easier to extend it to the world. Metta. And I got to find out, this app has changed, but I'm going to figure out how to, I'm gonna figure out how to get into this and send you the loving kindness meditation. Anyway, yeah, just text me. I'll find it. I'll send you the link. I'm not sure if you're on Insight Timer, if you know what that is. I've been talking about this all week. For you people that are like, I ain't got no money, Dr. Flo. It's just so hard out here. Type this into your browser, insighttimer.com. It's a free meditation app. And they've got over 340,000 free tracks. So for those of you who are like, Dr. Flo, I don't have the money for the apps. I don't have the money for the classes. I don't have the money for anything, Dr. Flo. I'm just, Dr. Flo. They've got 343,000 free guided meditations and music tracks, and teachers from all over the world and people from all over the world. Android, they're millionaires with Android phones. Okay, you ain't said nothing to me. There are millionaires. There are multi-millionaires sitting on a beach right now, sunning their buns with an Android phone. Don't make excuses for your greatness. Do not make excuses for your greatness. Am I talking about you? The phones are smart. The people that hold them, I have opinions about them that I can't share on this recorded line. The people that hold the phones are interesting. The phones are smart. The phones are smart. The phones are smart. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Thank you for showing up for your healing. Thank you for showing up for your creativity. And remember that your gift has survived every difficult season that you've been through. It has survived the fear. It has survived the doubt. It has survived the silence, which means that it may be stronger than you think. And always remember that you are loved. You are lovable. Now go and create something. To learn more about the work that we do here in Love in Action Network and more about who I am as a teacher, you can go to AskDrFlo.com, 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 or LovedandLovable.org, LovedandLovable.org, on behalf of everyone in our network, our donors, our sponsors, our fans, our daily watchers on TikTok, and everyone who globally supports bold dreams and bold dreamers. We invite you as always to stay in your power, to stay in your joy, and to stay loved and lovable. We'll see you very, very soon around our fantastic network. You are appreciated.